Every NFL offseason is full of excited fans making outlandish predictions for the upcoming season. But even the boldest ones hit sometimes. Here's 5 bold Steelers predictions for the upcoming 2026 NFL season. The first player prediction I have for the season is for Rodgers to throw for over 4,000 yards this year. He hasn't done it since 2021, and he'll turn 43 by the end of the season. However, Rodgers proved everyone wrong last year, with a much worse situation overall. The Steelers have improved virtually every aspect of the offense around Rodgers heading into this season. They addressed the offensive line in the draft, traded for Michael Pittman, signed Rico Dowdle, picked up Jeremy Bernard, and replaced the abysmal Arthur Smith. All of these factors lead me to believe that Rodgers will improve on his numbers from a year ago. He threw for 3,322 yards in just 15 and a half games, missing a game and a half with the wrist injury he was dealing with last year. If he's able to stay healthy throughout this season, there is no reason Rodgers shouldn't have the chance to reach 4K for the 11th time in his legendary career. Next, I predict Nick Herbig is going to lead this team in sacks in 2026. TJ Watt or Alex Highsmith have led the team each of the last 8 years, dating back to 2017, and the odds would probably suggest that they're likely again to do so this year. However, signs are pointing to the Steelers giving Herbig a much bigger role in 2026. TJ Watt appears to have lost a step or two since his record-breaking season in 2021, and Alex Highsmith hasn't had a healthy season in 4 years. Highsmith is also likely actively being shopped until the beginning of the season. The Steelers gave Nick Herbig a 4-year, $100 million contract, despite him never being a full-time starter, which means they have a bigger future for him in their plans, likely starting this year. Herbig's 24, entering his 4th year in the NFL, and he's shown steady improvements throughout the first 3 years. He has developed the skills necessary to be an elite pass rusher in the league. Now he just needs the reps and opportunities. A great example of what Herbig can be was his strip sack versus the Bengals in 2024. He beat Pro Bowler Orlando Brown Jr. clean off the ball and flies through the backfield to strip Burrow, leading to a touchdown. With a chance to show what he can do full-time, Nick Herbig has a chance to lead the Steelers in sacks in 2026. The next prediction is about one of the young stars of the Pittsburgh defense. I predict Joey Porter Jr. to have an all-pro season in 2026. JPJ has quietly established himself as one of the best corners in football, but he's not gotten the national recognition he deserves yet. That's going to change this year. JPJ has allowed a 57.2 passer rating on below 50% completions and no touchdowns last year in 14 games. If he builds on that season and the Steelers defense is able to clean up its act a little bit, it could become a special season for the second-generation Steeler. It'll be interesting to see how much he travels with guys like Jamar Chase after the Steelers picked up with Jamel Dean in free agency to lock down the other side of the field. Porter and Dean are also going to benefit from having Jalen Ramsey play free safety behind them, one of the best situations to have in football, with Jalen Ramsey mentoring and playing safety behind you. A big reason Porter hadn't yet become a household name is because he does not produce a lot of interceptions. But whether or not that changes in 2026, he could easily be in for an all-pro year. The final bold player prediction I have is that Pat Freiermuth and Darnell Washington are going to combine for 15 receiving touchdowns this season from the tight end position. Connor Hayward and Jonnu Smith are gone. The play calling is out of the hands of Arthur Smith, and these two are among the best tight end duos heading into 2026. The Steelers are still yet to exploit the advantages of a 6'8" tight end in the red zone, and they spent years underutilizing Pat Freiermuth. Rodgers is going to have to find a new primary security blanket, as his 2025 option, Kenneth Gainwell, has left for Tampa Bay. Another year with more chemistry and experience in Pittsburgh should provide Rodgers with a boost in his year 2 numbers, allowing Washington and Freiermuth to go off. When we've seen Rodgers at his best, he's connecting with tight ends in the red zone, like when he tossed Robert Tonyan 11 scores in 2020. 15 or more tugs is certainly on the table for this pair in 2026. The last prediction I have might be the boldest of them all, because it has not happened in a decade. I think the Steelers are going to win the AFC North this year and win their first playoff game since 2016. TJ Watt was not on the team the last time they won a playoff game. However, this is the best quarterback play they've had since pre-elbow injury Big Ben, and the defense has the potential to be as stout as ever if it all comes together. The pieces are certainly there for this roster to get over the hump, and maybe the Mike Tomlin wildcard curse was real, and Mike McCarthy can take them to the promised land. Only time will tell, but I predict this Steelers team to get the job done in 2026.